Welcome back to Bloodstained Hands. Last time on Bloodstained Hands, we did quite a bit, actually. We went around, we did the exports mission that gave us a free diamond weapon that currently Sebastian has equipped. He's got a diamond axe. We also went to the Safane Arena and competed in the Death Games, becoming the champion of the arena. And we obtained a very valuable item called the Elixir Ring, which we are actually going to give to Gray. And the reason why, this ring halves MP cost and restores HP every turn. Well, the half MP cost is going to be very useful for Gray especially, but restoring HP every turn is also especially useful for Gray because he has a new overdrive. Now, we can't see it here, but he has a new overdrive called Celestial, which allows him to channel the power of a Celestial, but doing so will actually drain his HP every turn, and the Elixir Ring will offset that. Now, how do we get that stuff? The other thing that we did last episode is we actually went to the academy, and Gray has now become a sage. He has the celestial staff, circlet, robe, and gloves if he chooses to wear them, and he now has access to light magic, the only magic that can truly harm the gods. So, with that, we have quite a bit left to do. So in this episode, what we're going to do, we're going to actually start by going and engaging with some cutscenes available to us in Sienna. And after that, we are going to take on a dungeon, maybe two, to go hunt down some of the remaining hidden weapons, one of which is actually right in that little oasis there. But we are going to leave that one aside for, I think, another episode. I think we're going to start with the Nox Catacombs and see if we can track down the Fiend daggers, because I would like to give those to Fang. Now, we do have some cutscenes here in Sienna, so the idea with this is that when you access your party, whoever you leave behind will remain in Sienna, and you can engage, you can see how those kind of characters would interact together when they are when you don't have them in your party. So we're going to start, let's just reset our party here. We're actually going to start with Gray and all of his interactions. Now, I mentioned this last episode, but Gray and Matthew have already had their interaction in Diamo, in the Diamo training facility. When we were learning how to become a silencer, Gray and Matthew had a bit of a cutscene where Matthew was doing some push-ups, and Gray and Matthew had a conversation about, you know, what it takes to become really proficient as either a fighter or a mage. So, Gray and Matthew won't have an interaction, but Gray does still have an interaction with Mia, Sebastian, and Shadow, so let's see those cutscenes, and we're going to start with Gray and Mia. Now for this one, we are going to go to the inn, and let's chat with... Hey Fang, you need something? Let's chat with Gray. You know, I've never seen you use elemental magic. Why is that? I've never studied it. I've basically jumped right into dark magic. Seriously? But nearly all mages start with the elements. They're the simplest to learn. True, but I didn't actually intend to learn magic. It was more of a byproduct of studying dark spirits. What do you mean? When I was little, I lost both my parents to a rare disease. I enrolled at the academy to learn more about it. I studied the fiends, particularly Morbus, Nox, and Mortalitus. I thought that studying the source of the disease would help me learn how to cure it. By the time I learned that only light can cancel out darkness, it was too late. I'd been aligned with the fiends. You'd gotten too deep in dark magic. The Celestials wouldn't let you learn light magic too. Exactly. But all my studies taught me a considerable amount about how to use dark spells. What kind of spells? Mind-altering magic, mostly. Whereas light magic affects bodies, making it ideal for healing, dark magic is geared more towards affecting mental states. From Morbus, I learned how to put foes to sleep, drive them insane, or trick them into thinking they were seeing things that weren't there. Nox showed me how to use the darkness as a weapon, destroying everything it touches. And Mortalitus? How to kill. How to rip the life right out of a creature. I'd hoped never to use that magic. I'm glad you learned it. In a perfect world, there'd be no need for such magic. But right now, you can do things that none of us can. We need you. And when all this is over, you won't ever have to touch dark magic again. That day cannot come soon enough. Agreed. So a little bit of backstory there as to Mia, how she learned dark magic, and why, even though Gray knows every element, Mia doesn't even know one of them. Okay, so that's Gray and Mia. How about Gray and Sebastian? Let's check those two out. I believe they are also at the inn. Yeah, there they are. Hello, Fang. Do you need me? That armor sure looks heavy. How do you manage wearing it all the time? Conditioning. Soldiers are trained to wear their armor so often that it practically becomes a second skin. Must be tiring, though. Certainly, I can't move very quickly in this, but my armor has saved my life on more than one occasion. I'll bet. I can't focus my spells very well in armor, and I've accumulated a few scars because of it. Ah, but spells don't affect you nearly as much, do they? This armor offers little protection against fire and ice. That's true. I guess you've got to pick your battles. Well, maybe there's a way we can work together, play off each other's strengths. What do you mean? My training included cover tactics. I learned how to protect my allies in close quarters. I could probably soak up some physical damage for you. I'd appreciate that. And in return, I'll heal your wounds and keep you on your feet. And if you need a little motivation to sling spells a little faster, I'll keep you inspired. Sounds like a plan. It's a good battle strategy. Might not be a bad idea to keep you two together when traveling. You do what you have to, Fang. We'll manage either way. So there is kind of like a affinity between different characters and how they work together. Gray works especially well with Sebastian, Matthew works especially well with Mia, and then Shadow and Fang just kind of work well together, but there isn't really any particular reason to use any particular party composition. But Fang and Shadow have a little bit of an interaction now. Shadow way over here. Shh! Don't give me away. Gray, getting some fresh air? Right, Fang, yeah, it can get a bit stuffy in there. I understand. Take it easy, Gray. You too. Boo! Ah! Man, you should have seen your face. What the hell is your problem? Lighten up. You've been jumping at every corner ever since we got back here. I'm just trying to have a little fun. Fun? The only people I trust are out in the world fighting literal gods, and I'm stuck here at the sanctuary with a known murderer. I think I'd have a right to be jumpy. What did you call me? Shadow? Stay out of this. It's about time we resolve this. A murderer. That's what I called you. I see. So you'd rather this murderer just left you all to die, is that it? You wish I'd never saved Fang so that he'd never be able to save you and your family, huh? You turned my best friend into a killer. I don't care who you are, I will never forgive you for that. Gray! Rain, I agree, you stay out of this. Don't you dare use that name. You know what, why am I even here? Kane is dead, there's no reason for me to stay. Then leave, you won't be missed. Enough! Gray, if you want to leave, you're free to do so. What? I don't want you to. I'd rather you stay. You're still my best friend, and it would hurt like hell to see you leave. But I won't force you to stay if you don't want to. I know I forced you into joining when all this started. I'm sorry. I had no choice. But you're right, the danger is past. You're free. But you also took on a major responsibility when you accepted that staff. If you back out now, you'll have to live with that choice. You're right. Sorry I lost it there. Look, Gray, I know you don't like the Blades or the Assassins, but you've got to learn to trust them. They're on our side. I don't know if I can do that. I understand, but can you at least try? Yeah, I'll try. Thank you. Now, Shadow. Yeah? Quit messing with Gray. I don't know what you mean. Shut it. Gray's my friend. He's saved both my life and yours countless times. He deserves better. Tough not to poke fun at someone who looks at you like you're scum. Honestly, I don't blame him. You're not scum, Shadow, but this is dirty work. If I were in his shoes, I'd be looking at you to do the same way. You guys don't have to be best friends. You don't even have to like each other. But can you at least try not to kill each other when I'm on the road? No promises. Shadow! I'm kidding. I'll lay off the pranks. Thank you. Gray? We'll never be friends, but I can at least try to be civil, and watch my expression when I look your way. Good enough. Now go on, do something productive for a change. Sure thing. Let me know if you need me, eh? Yeah, same here. Wouldn't mind getting on the road myself. A little bit of tension there, but hopefully it's not, hopefully they can put their differences aside. Okay, so that's it for all of Gray's interactions. So we're gonna save. We're gonna save some of Mia's, I think. So let's do the rest of hold on. Okay. Yeah, we will take on Mia's, but we're gonna save Mia and Matthew for the end because they have a bit of a special interaction. So let's go Mia and Sebastian, see how they interact when left at the sanctuary. Greetings, Fang. Oh. So you're the new general, eh? Aren't you too important to be involved in this kind of work? You have people to look after.
You could argue that this work is too important for me not to get involved. If we don't stop Mortalitas, I may not have any people left to rule.
Fair. So once Emperor Samson is settled into Safane, you'll be taking over Amathane, right?
I suppose so. I've been trying to prepare for it, but it's a big responsibility. I'm honestly not sure if I'm ready for it.
I think you're more ready than you know. You'll be fine. You've had an excellent mentor, after all.
That's true. I've been Samson's right-hand man long enough to know what to do. What about you? Do you plan to return to the academy when this is over?
No, never. I'll never use magic again if I can help it.
Why not? With your skills, I'm certain you'd have plenty to teach others. You could one day become a maestro.
We wouldn't be in this situation if it wasn't for the research I'd been doing years ago. Nothing good would come from teaching others the same subject.
I see. Well, that is a shame, but if you were ever looking for a job as a court mage, you'd be welcome in Amathine. Your skills could do a considerable amount of good.
Thanks, but no thanks. I plan to stay here with Matthew, maybe start a family. Whatever path we take, we're gonna walk it together.
I understand, and I wish you the greatest happiness. I'm sure you two will lead a wonderful life together.
And I have no doubt that you'll raise Amathine to untold prosperity.
You can count on it.
Alright, who's next? We're gonna save Matthew, but let's go Mia and Shadow. I believe they are in the pub. Let's take a look. Yep, there they are. Okay. What are you staring at?
You.
Yeah, obviously, but why?
Just trying to figure out what makes you so special.
What?
While you were being held at the Capitol, Matthew fought like hell to get you out. I'm curious as to why. What made you worth it?
Do you have any idea what the meaning of social etiquette is?
Not really.
Love, Shadow. That's what drove Matthew. It's love. You know what love is, right? You've been in love before, yeah?
I don't think so.
What?
I mean, there was a girl I trained with years ago, but she left. We were close, but I don't know if you'd call it love. I'm not really sure what love feels like.
Oh, Shadow, I'm so sorry. That was heartless of me.
It's fine. Sorry for staring.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, well, can you go do something else? You're kind of creeping me out.
Oh, yeah, sure thing. Sorry.
I'm creepy? Yeah, Shadow, you're pretty creepy. Alright. Okay, so that sums up Mia's interactions and Gray's, with the exception of Mia and Matthew, but like I said, we're going to save that one for a little bit later. What else? Okay, let's do Sebastian. Yeah, we'll do Sebastian's interaction. So he's interacted with Gray and Mia. Let's go with Sebastian and Matthew. And I think they are also at the pub. There they are.
This is a bad idea.
How do I... There we go.
Ah, come on. It'll be fun. I'm not sure about this.
What are you doing?
Just a little harmless fun. Your brother has challenged me to see who can imbibe more. Totally harmless. He challenged Sebastian to a drinking contest? I can't say I approve. We're not doing anything else right now. Everyone else is on the road. Let's cut loose a little bit.
You know, I'm actually a little curious who would win. You both have pretty strong constitutions.
Alright. I'll buy the first round then. That's what I'm talking about. Well, how you feeling? Not bad. I don't make drinking a habit, but I'll admit that cider was quite fine. Cyan has some of the best produce in the Empire. You won't find better cider than this. It's strong stuff, though. You think you can handle another? Try me. Your turn to buy. You doing alright? Fine. How about yourself? Just fine. I could do one more. Alright. We'll split it. Oh, come on. You done already? Well, I guess goes to show experience beats youth every time. It's it, Matthew, but you asked for it. Try to sober up before I need you again, eh? Oh. Alright, okay. We got, I think... What, one more? Two more? Three more? A couple more. Let's see. Okay, Sebastian and Shadow. Let's do them. I think they're at the inn. There they are, yep. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like I was saying. I just cut them 20 times and watched them collapse from blood loss. Doesn't matter if they block one or two of those hits. But I just cut them once. Usually in half. Why waste all that energy with 20 little cuts when one will do the trick? See, but I can see your swing coming from a mile away. It's too easy to dodge. And one big swing leaves you wide open. I conserve my movements. Sure you're not just making excuses. Let's face it, you're a little scrawny. I'd like to see you so much as lift a greatsword. Not all of us are carved from a mountain, Seb. You could bulk up. Just need to eat more. Lift something heavy. You'd be as big as me. Not a chance. I like being small. It makes me fast and unpredictable. People underestimate me. Oh please, it's not that hard. Just a few hundred push-ups a day. Come on, I'll show you. You'd have to catch me first. Hey! Let me go! Quit whining. It's for your own good. How are you so strong? You'll see soon enough. Sebastian? Sebastian? Alright then. Okay, who's next? I think we've got... Okay, so that's it for Sebastian's. We had him talk to Gray, Mia, Matthew, Shadow. Matthew... Okay, let's see. Shadow has talked to Gray and Mia and Sebastian. So let's go Matthew and Shadow. And then I think it's just Matthew and Mia left. There they are. Hey Fang, what's up? Hey Shadow, tell me something. What were the assassins like before Cain rose to power? What was their purpose? We were the unseen guardians of Alithia. If a problem ever arose that the Crown couldn't or wouldn't deal with, the assassins would step in. Law enforcement has never really been strong within the Empire, so there's always been a demand for those who could deliver justice. Sounds like you were nothing more than a glorified vigilante group. You could say that, except for two major differences. One, we're anonymous. You know what the biggest problem is with vigilantes? They're too public. What do you mean? When a vigilante group pops up, eventually word of them reaches the Crown and they get shut down. Sometimes violently. The Hidden Blades, however, have been going strong for nearly a century, and it's all because we don't publicize our work. We keep quiet, and so do our clients. All of them? I find that hard to believe. They stay quiet. And in return for the silence, they also stay alive. It's not pretty, but it works. What's the second difference? We're not out for glory. We're here to make an impact. We don't do things for recognition, we do it because it's right. Still seems like a fine line. True, but that line makes all the difference. It's just like anything else worthwhile. Like what? Well, how many people do you think consider us to be nothing more than terrorists? People who had no idea what Cain was doing and weren't really affected by his reign. We killed an emperor and put our own man in his place, a man that many civilians have never seen before. I'm sure a lot of people consider us to be the bad guys. The line between a vigilante and an assassin is as fine as the line between treason and liberation. It's all about perspective. The assassins are freedom fighters. Always have been, always will be. You got a point. Sorry if I sounded a bit judgmental. Don't worry about it. I don't judge people for their ignorance. Only their arrogance. Fair enough. Next, Shadow. No problem. A little bit of backstory there as to who the assassins are.
Okay, one last cutscene. And this one's a little special. This one I've been saving. So, let's see Mia and Matthew. And for this one, let's go home. There they are. And Matthew's actually wearing his civilian clothes for a change. Hey, good to see you. Been a while since I've been home. Hey, Fang. Do you think you could give us a moment alone? Of course. I'll be outside. What was that about? We haven't had some time for just the two of us since we got back. I didn't want us to be interrupted. How romantic. Do you remember how we met? Of course. I had just fled the capital. I wanted to get as far away as possible, so I came to Sienna. I was staying at the inn, but only for a few nights. I'd asked the innkeeper what there was to do in this town, and she said that everyone gathers at the pub after closing time to share stories and songs. You sat right next to me at the bar. You were still wearing your academy robe, and it stood out. I didn't recognize you, and I knew everyone in the village. I'd been traveling light, so the robe was really the only clothing I had. It probably smelled horrible after all that time traveling. Yeah, you were certainly aromatic. And shy. You wouldn't look anyone in the eye. You hardly looked at me when I asked where you were from. I didn't really know who to trust, and for all I knew, you were just trying to hit on a pretty girl from out of town. I kept mostly to myself that night. True. But the next day I saw you at the inn, sitting on a stump, bathed in sunlight, and reading a book. You looked absolutely radiant. Well, I did manage to bathe at the inn, so I was a lot cleaner than your first impression. It wasn't just that. You had this focused look on your face, and I could see this fire in your eyes. It was captivating. I remember bringing you a dress. It was my mother's, buried away in a crate ever since she had passed away. I thought you could have used a change of clothes. You know, that was the first gift anyone had ever given me. It really touched me. I offered to show you around the village, and we spent the next few days together talking about absolutely everything. Our past, our goals, our values. And then you showed me your favorite place in the village. The spring. That's right, I took you there at sundown on the third day. We watched the sun together, and that's when we shared our first kiss. Didn't I push you in the water? Yeah, you did. I don't think I minded, actually. You were sweet. And kind. And you had this intense masculinity. It was just intoxicating. But you were also very gentle. My heart was cold when I arrived here, and I truly think you were the only person who could have melted it the way you did. And you pretty much had my heart from that day I saw you in the sun. Matthew. Mia. You remember the trip we planned to take before all this happened? Right, that trip to Armadala. I was gonna do this during that trip, and I would plan this out better if I thought there was time. But if I've learned anything, it's that there's no time like the present. Mia, will you marry me? Matthew. Yes. Nothing would make me happier than to spend the rest of my life with you. Mia, I promise I will never let anyone take you away from me again. You will always be safe in my arms. Let's just enjoy the music for a bit. Okay, well, let's move on. Well, that's pretty much all the cutscenes between the party members. Okay, so let's go collect a hidden weapon. We have a few left to grab here. So divine preparation. We can get the sword, the spear, the katana, or the daggers. I would like to go for the daggers. I think we're going to save the katana for the last one. Yeah, we'll get the daggers, and if we have time, we may do one more as well. But we'll start with... Yeah, we'll start with the daggers. Now, Matthew is the lowest level. Sebastian and Mia are actually higher level than everybody else, so we're going to leave Sebastian and Mia behind for a bit still. Let's arrange our party how we want here. Let's go the 2 assassins, then Gray, then a fighter. Yeah, 2 assassins, mage, fighter. I think that works. That makes sense. And let's just check everybody's equipment. Shadow doesn't have anything equipped. That's because Fang still had the katana. There we go. Okay, we have quite a bit of gold, so maybe we should actually gear everybody up a bit first. Fang has everything he needs. Gray has everything he needs. Matthew could use some diamond armor and a shield. But yeah, Shadow could use a new hood and a cuirass. Matthew could use some diamond armor. Yeah, okay, so let's go. I cannot think. Where are we going? We're going to Cephane. What else? I wonder... No, it's too late. There is another thing that we could get. And maybe it's time to show that. I don't know. There is a secret shop in this game. It's one that you can only find at a specific time of day if you prepare yourself ahead of time. You have to be standing in a certain place on a certain map as the clock ticks over to a certain time, and it's only available for 1 hour of in-game time. So I may be able to showcase that. Let's gear up here first. Let's go do one dungeon, and then we'll see if we have time. See if the timing is right. Okay, let's get a black hood and a black cloak for Shadow. There we go. Nice. Yeah, Gray's got everything he needs. So Matthew needs some diamond gear. We can sell all this stuff, the fire staff, silver cuirass, blood hood, fire circlet. We're actually going to keep the white robe and the white gloves. Not the white gloves, we don't need those. But we'll keep the rest. And I think it may be time to start selling these badges. We don't... well, maybe not. Hold on, let me think about this. Where we're about to go... You know what? Matthew, we're going to give him an ice badge. Because where we're about to go, we're about to face some fire, ice, and lightning elemental enemies, and giving him a way to resist frostbite would be really good. We could potentially give Fang and Shadow a badge as well, but we're at the point now where the agility and evasion boost I think would be worth... how about that actually? You know, we'll give Shadow and Fang both a fire badge. And yeah, we're going to hang on to the badges, actually, because they are still useful. And the reason we're going to give Fang and Shadow fire badges is because Cauterize cures any status ailment except for fire, because it's a fire element already. But giving them the fire badge prevents them from being ignited and resists fire magic. So Cauterize can cure frostbite and electrocution, and then they're resistant to burn, so we should be fine. Now, let's give Matthew a diamond shield and a diamond helmet. And do we want to give him a diamond cuirass or diamond armor? 75 defense or 50? He's already got tons of defense, and minus 15 agility is rough. So we're going to give him the cuirass. And that used up pretty much all of our gold. But now he's fully decked out. Yeah, we're good. Helmet, cuirass. We will keep the gauntlets, the shield. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Okay. That was weird. I had a weird little moment where I'm like thinking... No, I can open the menu and fast travel. There is no option to fast travel the menu, and I can't think of why I thought there was. I can't even think of what game I would have been recently playing where there's an option to fast travel from the menu. Okay, well, we are going to the Nox Catacombs. I can actually show you where these are on the map. I don't think they'll appear on the map, but I can show you where we're headed. So this is where we are now. We need to get to the caves. It's right in that little clearing in the center of the map there is the Nox Catacombs in the mountains north of Siena. So we have to find the right path, and because it's such rough terrain, we cannot simply travel there by airship. That was weird. So, from where we are, we're going to have to go through the Ocean's Maw, all the way down, and then travel there from Safane. Not Safane, Sylvain, sorry. So using the ship, we are going to sail back through the Ocean's Maw, and then getting back may actually be a little bit easier because we won't go all the way through. We'll actually probably cut through the 5 islands and take the mountain pass to get back to our airship, which is also going to make things a little bit easier getting to the next place that we need to go to. So, easy way to figure out which one of these little water paths is the correct one is that there's a spiky rock immediately to the left of the entrance, but it's a little bit closer to the right edge. So this one here should be the correct path. And there it is. And just like that, we have made it to the Nox Catacombs. Everybody's healed up. We're all geared up. I think we're ready, so let's go. Alright, there's one that we can enter. This one's not accessible right now, so let's go. What's that on the wall? Like the torch? Yes. Okay. So this is pretty dark. Now the torches don't actually make the darkness any brighter, but if you walk away, you can see that those lights are shining from a distance. So it's a little bit of a way to keep track of your position, but that doesn't mean that getting through here is easy. It is a maze and it is pitch dark. I actually do not remember the correct path. But we found our way to a hidden chest. That's good. Okay, let's concentrate. We're going to try Assassinate right off the bat before it can get a move in. Did not get the instant kill. That's okay. Good time to use Cauterize. Let's use Battle Cry, raise our stats. And do we want to train up our elemental magic, or do we want to train up our light magic? We're 1 use away from leveling up Earth, so let's just do that first. And then we're going to start training up our light magic. Cauterize 6, nice. Blind, Earth 6, or was that 5? I think that was 5. Jeepers, okay. Oh, that was Cauterize 5 that we learned. Okay, these things can be poisoned, that's good. Water actually would be really useful because we could silence these things. We definitely hit pretty hard. We'll keep training up Cauterize for now, because Fang is taking quite a beating. Nice. Okay, good. Alright, let's open the chest. Thank goodness we have our bone lockpick that lets us basically open anything for free. A mana ring. Okay, so this is pretty useful. Basically, it doesn't carry any stats, so we would take a stat decrease if we equip it, but it halves the amount of MP used. That could potentially be useful for the assassins, but I don't think it's as useful as the fire badges. That looks like a torch. Yes, okay, that'll help us keep track of where we are. I actually don't know which way to go. It's been a while since I've done this. No, no torch. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit challenging. Let's try momentum. Didn't quite finish it, but took down a lot of its health, so that's nice. How's our water magic? It's only 3 uses away from leveling up, so we'll use water a couple times. Once we've leveled up all the spells that we can use to fight these guys with, we'll focus light magic. Oh, that's a torch. Yeah, we will prioritize their weaknesses first. Didn't work. But we do want to make sure we're using light magic. Fire is quite a ways away, so we're just going to use light magic for these guys. I had a feeling he was going to hit Fang. Oh, Matthew got his overdrive. Blood Drive, Rampage, and Saber. I don't think we've shown Rampage yet, have we? We'll do that at the start of the next battle, because this guy's just about dead. We are running a little bit low on health, though, and Cauterize is not enough to keep us topped up, so we're going to use Heal. There we go, done. I am getting all turned around here. Found a toxin, okay. There's at least something for finding the urn in the dead end. That's another torch. Another torch there. Oh gosh, I don't even know. Oh. Advanced remedy, okay. Another torch there. Jeez. Fire elemental. Good, the poison worked. Not much point in using Shroud because these guys are elemental. Okay, let's try Rampage, see how this does. Nice. It's just a good strong move. No crit chance on it, but 3 very overpowered strikes, so it's a very useful ability. Maybe this way? There's an urn. Looks like we're in the corner of the map here. Was that advanced medicine? I think so. Stimulant, okay. Gosh, it's so dark. Cauterize, Venom. No need to use Battle Cry, I already used it. Light one. Oh dear. Oh, what happened? Okay, that is the first time the game has kind of stalled or lagged since upgrading the computer, but doesn't look nearly as bad as the problems I was having with the game earlier. Well, Fang's got an overdrive again, that's good. Oh, he keeps needing to use Cauterize though because of this, oh, what's happening now? Come on now. That's odd. I don't actually know why it's stuttering like that. Okay, Fang needs some help. Why are they just continually targeting him? Like, come on. I gave Matthew the ice badge and they keep targeting Fang. There we go. At least we're slowly eliminating these enemies, so as we go through we should run into less of them. Oh my gosh. Nope. Oh dear. We gotta be close. Yes, here we go. Okay, we found it. Okay, this is a boss. So, let's use some advanced remedy. Am I frozen? I am frozen. Doo-doo-doo. Seriously, what's going on? Okay, I'm a little nervous. I'm just gonna save that, because something's not right there. I'm gonna do one last thing here, because I know what I'm about to face. Dark Badge. I'm gonna give Fang a Dark Badge. Resists dark magic. And I'll save one more time, because yeah, okay. Alright, here we go. What? What? Was there an enemy, like, hidden behind the wall or something, and I just didn't see it? No. Really? Was the enemy that I touched not actually the boss? Okay. There must have been like an enemy hidden behind here or something. Because yeah, encounter type is set to touch, not random. Okay, well. Now we're gonna face the boss. Dark Elemental, here we go. Okay, we're gonna start with Shadow, just attack. There's not really much you can do in this fight. We'll go with Momentum. Nice, good hit. Let's try a Blood Drive. Ooh, nasty. Okay, that hurt. Oh, of course, Battle Cry wore off right as that happened. Shadow, just try to keep yourself alive for the time being. Gray, use Light Magic. Because Light is the strongest thing that we can use against him. Gray is really going to be the one that does the most here. To such a degree, actually, that I'm not even going to have Gray revive, and I'm going to have Fang focus on doing that. Oh, you know what? Okay, Blood Rage for sure. I wonder if I can Intimidate stall this guy. It may have to get the timing down right, but because it's a one-on-one fight, I may be able to do something here. Gray's learned Light too. We might only be able to do it like once every 2... Oh, no, he's immune to Intimidate. Okay, good to know. I probably could have guessed that, honestly. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. My phone is going off. I can tell from looking at it that it's just a spam caller, so I'm not even going to answer it, but it's too far out of reach for me to dismiss the call. I'm hoping that's not getting picked up on the microphone, but it doesn't matter because I just said it out loud. Okay. Part of me is a little bit grateful that this thing just keeps targeting Shadow, because it's like, great, I can just keep reviving him, and he can just keep being the mule for this. Nice, okay, Fang's got an overdrive. I mean, Shadow is by far the least useful person on the team right now. Nice, good. I actually have no idea how much health this guy has left. Ooh, okay, that's not good. Okay, so Shadow, Stimulant, there we go. Okay, Blood Rage worked. I am actually going to use some medicines to keep myself alive. Blood Rage. That didn't work. I am running out of stimulants. I'm going to have to stock up after this fight, I think. Stop it! Okay. I'm going to use Celestial. We're going to actually see how this works. There we go. So Gray is basically in his super powerful mode now. And let's see how powerful his spells are now. 2700. Oh, Shadow actually did a good chunk of damage at that hit. I think he got a critical hit there. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah, we'll use light again. He's getting close. This is my last stimulant, so it's gotta... After this, I actually am gonna have to start using gray to keep everybody topped up. Unless I can finish this guy right away here. Light 3, not enough yet. Okay. Try to keep Matthew alive. He can actually hit pretty hard. This is not so good. Oh, we have a yellow herb. Yeah, we have a yellow herb. Let's use that in an effort to try to finish this guy off now and get everybody some XP. Nope. I actually have no idea how much health this guy has left. So we're just gonna pummel away. This is a bit of a battle of attrition at this point. Okay, Fang's got a overdrive, so we're gonna use a medicine just to make sure that he gets to fire it off. And let's try to finish him with the momentum. Yes! That should have done it. We got him. Her, it, whatever. We got it. Fang's party was victorious, 5,000 XP. And it's somewhat fitting that Fang got to land the final blow, because... My eyes. We got the Fiend Daggers, and if we open these coffins, a Fiend Hood, gloves, and a cloak. Which gives Fang his ultimate weapons. The 2 Fiend Daggers. There we go. Yeah, 5% more evasion, 35 more agility. That's worth it. And Fang is fully decked out. So I wanted to come here first because Fang is really the party leader. Kind of makes sense that he should get his ultimate weapon before anybody else. Okay, that was good. So we now have... What time is it? 1:20. We have no stimulants left. That is not good. So we are going to... stock up on some supplies. Yeah, we need a bit more. Although, I mean, we could rely on Gray a little bit more now. Seeing as he does... we needed Gray to take on that Dark Elemental, because Light Magic was quite literally the only thing it was weak to. But we could now have Gray return to being a healer and reviver for the next dungeon. I think we will do one more. Let me think about this. What should we do next? I do want to use some of the other party members as well. But we'll stick with who we have. Oh, I'm trying to think, trying to figure out what I want to do next. You know what? Okay. Yeah, I think I know what we'll do next. First up, I want to heal. And actually probably the fastest way we can do that, in a way that preserves our overdrives, would be here. So, here's a little trick you can do with Gray. When he's in the celestial state, he can banish that celestial, which reverts his state, but it fully fills his overdrive gauge, so he can basically jump right back into that state at any point. Now, the reason I did that was because as soon as I rest, it's going to fully restore our status, including removing that state. So doing that first allows us to keep our overdrive gauge full, and then we can jump back into that state right away. So we're going to heal up. How much gold do we have? 4,000, that's plenty. I think this guy actually has some stimulants for sale. Yeah, he does, perfect, we'll just buy from him. We'll go with 20 stimulants. And I'm not too worried about anything else. Everyone has some way of kind of topping up their own health, with the exception of please get out of my way, and please don't, no, okay, well, go for, there we go, good. Yeah, I think the only person who doesn't have a way of restoring his own health is Matthew, but we can use Gray to help him. So, while we're here, let's go against a training dummy, trigger all our stat buffs, including Celestial. And there we go. Everybody's got their buffed state. Now, Celestial is really helpful for buffing our Spirit. As you can see, he's got 645, but it does come with cost, which is that our defense gets crippled. We only have 1 defense now. But we also resist dark magic as well. So there's a lot of benefits to using Celestial, but he will take an incredibly high amount of physical damage. So I'm thinking we'll do one more dungeon, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to take on... We're going to take on this tower. The Tower of... Is it the Tower of Bestia? Yeah, we're going to take on the Tower of Bestia. Because this is where we can find the Celestial Sword. And then I think after this, we're going to switch up our party. We're going to put Sebastian to our party. And then we'll have a weapon ready for him to go. Which is kind of ironic because we did give him a diamond axe that we haven't actually used yet. But that will be useful later on as well. So let's do the Tower of Bestia. Okay, so with this, these little soldiers will actually follow our movements. And the idea is that we want to get this soldier onto that switch. Okay, nice and easy. Next floor. Now we've got 2 of them. And there's an enemy here too that we'll have to deal with. Red Dragon. We fought one of these earlier. That's not what I meant to use. Poison, good. We're gonna keep... Oof, okay, that was a bit of a hit. We're gonna keep upping our light magic. But for the most part, these guys are physical fighters. Yes, and now that Fang has... Ooh, okay, that hurt, but it did fill his overdrive gauge, and he does have blood drive, which I suppose that is a way for him to restore his health. Okay, we'll get the green one on there, and the blue one on there. Okay. Floor 3. And wouldn't you guess it, now we have 3 soldiers. Interesting, I'm not seeing an enemy on this floor. Maybe there's only an enemy every second floor? I love the music in this place. And now we've got 4. And they all follow our movements. Ah, there's an enemy, okay. Alright, we'll use Venom. Nice, just attack. Oof, okay, that was a hit. Gray, heal yourself, and Matthew, use blood drive to heal yourself. Done. Awesome, okay. And yeah, now that we've got those Fiend Daggers, I'm wanting to showcase another thing that we've got available to us, which is a special overdrive that you can only get when you have these ultimate weapons. There we go. Okay, so we're up to 4 soldiers, but things get a little bit more complicated from here on out. We don't have an enemy on this floor, but most of them will follow our movements, except for the green one is now moving 90 degrees clockwise to our movements. Clockwise? Yes. Yeah, if we move down, he moves left. Left is up is right, right is down. So the trick with this, to kind of make it a little bit easier, is just focus on one at a time. So let's get the green one out of the way first. Gotta get him to cross that middle section. There we go. And now let's do blue. Good. And now let's do red. And now gold. There we go. Okay. Alright, and floor 5. Same thing here, but now blue is also moving in a different direction. So blue moves 90 degrees counterclockwise. But there's an enemy, let's just deal with that now. Venom. Good. Got the poison. Let's use light magic. And Matthew attack. Have we fought red dragons the entire time? Did we face a different type of dragon, or was that it? Just red. Okay. Alright, we'll start with red and gold since they're clustered together. We'll just go 1, 2, done. Okay, and now we'll focus on green. There we go. And now blue. Down, down, left, 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 left. All the way up, and then right. There we go. Good. Okay. Okay, that was floor 6. On to floor 7. Once more, we have everybody here. Oh, we got another enemy on this floor. Okay, let's deal with this. Another red dragon. Okay, I swear there's more than just one type of dragon in this dungeon. Okay, you know what? Nope. Finish it off with the light spell, use heal outside of battle. There we go. Done. Okay. So, same kind of thing here. Green moves clockwise, blue moves counterclockwise, gold follows our movements, but red now mirrors our movements. So, let's try to do something a little fun here. I'm trying to figure out a way to... I don't think this can be done. Not anymore. Maybe? I'm trying to figure out a way to make it so that they trigger their switches simultaneously. I don't think I can. Ah! Nope. Okay, alright. We're just gonna focus on blue. Get blue in position. There we go. And then green. Good. Alright, let's see if we can get red and gold to trigger theirs simultaneously. That should be doable, I think. Maybe not. Oh, okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Done. Ha ha ha. Okay. Alright, and final floor. This one's a little bit trickier. So with this one, is there an enemy? No. It's the same thing. There's the green one that moves clockwise. Blue dragon. Okay, there was an enemy. It's the same pattern. The green moves clockwise, blue moves counterclockwise, red mirrors, and the gold knight actually has a different movement pattern as well, but there's an added catch on this floor, which is that you can't see at a glance which is which, and you have to navigate them into spots based on memorizing either their movement patterns or just trial and error. So we know green moves clockwise, so let's go with that one first, which I believe is the one directly beside me. Yes. So let's get the green one onto the switch. Good. I believe the one in the top right corner, yeah, he's mirroring our movement, so he's red, so let's put him on that switch. And I am confused. Okay, I think the one to the right here is blue. Yeah, okay, now the gold one, this one's a bit interesting. So the idea is that if you move up, he moves one step forward. If you move down, he moves one step backward. If you turn left, he turns down, and if you move right, he turns to the right. So this one, we've got him facing the right, so we'll... let's see, we need him facing down. There we go. And then we'll take steps down to move him backwards. We'll move right to get him to turn to the right, and then we'll move up to get him to move forwards. Left, down, down. Done. There we go. A little complicated, but once you figure it out, it's pretty simple. And here we go. We've made it to the top of the Tower of Bestia. We'll just give... We'll have Gray heal everybody. There we go. And then we'll use a advanced remedy. There we go. Okay. I think we're in about as good of shape as we can be. So, let's just save up and face this boss. Black Dragon. I believe this thing is weak to light magic, but I feel like physical skills might just be the way to go. Let's go with lethality. I don't think it can be bled. Nope, but it's still good damage. Let's try light magic, see how it works. And attack. Okay, Shadow, Cauterize. And this may be actually a good time to use Shroud. Oof. Okay, that hurt. But you know what? We have an ability. Gray has his overdrive, and he's in his celestial state, which means he gets Aether. Wave of light magic that purifies all enemies. So this is like a very powerful light spell that hits... Just drop my controller. This hits all enemies 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Holy smokes. Okay, that was actually more damage than I expected. Let's do... There we go. Yeah. Okay. Let's go with Blood Drive. Nice. Gray, Light Magic. And here we go. Our Overdrive with the Fiend Daggers. Backstab. Wickedly fast lashes that are too swift to dodge. So it's 3 attacks. They're very powerful. They cannot miss under any circumstance. And they all have a crit chance. Let's see how this goes. Not bad, not bad. Momentum might actually be stronger, but... oh, what's he doing? Ooh, okay. Ooh, that hurt. Okay, we're gonna use Cauterize. I'm actually worried about Gray more than Shadow right now, so we're gonna use a medicine on him. And I'm actually not worried about curing the frostbite because right now Gray doesn't have any defense anyway, so crippling the defense further doesn't really do anything. Oh, okay. Oh! Okay, that sucks. We're gonna use a stimulant. And keep hitting them with light magic for now. Okay, this is not good. Oh, this is not good. Okay, Shadow, go ahead, use lethality. Nice, good hit. Somebody's gonna die right now. Is Shadow gonna die? Is he gonna... No! Oh, good block, Matthew. Okay. Matthew does not have Battle Cry active, so let's trigger that again. We'll use Cauterize. Hopefully that keeps us alive. Let's use Shroud, see if we can draw his fire a bit. I should have been using Shroud throughout this whole battle. I'll even trigger it with Shadow just to be safe, because if Shadow takes a hit, he's probably gonna die. Oh, jeez, that hit all is just deadly. Okay, Shroud 4, nice. Oh no. Oh, no, no, no. He's got a breath attack charged up here. Shadow's gonna die. Yep. Okay, this is bad. This is really bad. I have Shroud active on everybody right now. On Shadow and Fang. So they can withstand physical hits. Gray cannot. If Gray takes another hit, he's done. So we're going to use a medicine on him. We're going to use a stimulant to get Matthew back up. And then immediately I'm going to use a medicine on Matthew as well. I probably actually should have used... Okay, good. Shroud paid off there. Let's use Shroud again. For both Fang and Shadow. Oh, we got him. And learned Light 4, too. Alright, Shadow's level 29. Nice. We are starting to catch up with Mia and Sebastian there. Phew, that was a little close. There were a couple close calls there, but we pulled it off. And now... we found the Celestial Sword, as well as the Celestial Helmet, Shield, Armor, and Gauntlets. Now, we could give Matthew the Celestial Armor, but not the Sword, because that is specifically Sebastian's legendary weapon. And the reason for that is because the Celestial Spear can only be used by Matthew. Sebastian can use swords, so can Matthew, but Sebastian cannot use spears. There we go, there's the last dragon that we needed for our bestiary. Let's just finish this guy off and get out of here. You know what? I want to do something. Please tell... Oh, didn't get it. Okay. Next battle. Nice thing is we can pretty much just walk out of here. We may have to face a few dragons on the way. Something you can do is actually just turn the encounter type down to random, and you have at least a decent chance of getting out of here without triggering an encounter. But I actually do want to get into an encounter for this because I'm really hoping this will upgrade it. Bliss, let's do this. Still no. I don't know how many more uses it's going to take. You know what? I've got a little bit of time left. I have to leave at about... I have to leave in about 20 minutes. But, so we're going to end this episode very, very soon here. But there's one thing I kind of want to try. Just because this is getting to be ridiculous. There we go. Okay. Gray gained a level as well. Okay. Let's go... There is actually a way to kind of trick the enemies pathfinding so that they don't attack you. Let's see if I can do it. Nope. Okay. If you can step behind a... let's go Momentum. I was hoping I'd get crit. Oh well. If you can aggro the enemy and then stand behind an obstacle to divert their... to divert them and get them stuck behind that obstacle, you can actually effectively neutralize an enemy. Which is one way of getting out of here without triggering an encounter. If you don't want to set the encounter type to random instead of touch. So for example with this guy, there we go, yeah, he's stuck behind that pillar, we can just sneak by him. Work our way around. There we go. Put him behind the pillar. Make our way down. And I think we're out of here. And it's just about to turn daytime. And it's raining. Okay. So, we're going to call it there. But before we do, I am getting a little bit sick of not having these upgraded overdrives. We've spent the entire game so far, and we still have not leveled up either Bliss or Assassinate, which is a little bit frustrating. So, I'm just gonna grind it, honestly. I don't know, maybe this is cheap, but I am getting a little bit tired of not having the upgraded overdrives. Ooh, you know what? We're gonna do something here. Let's get Shadow his overdrive. We're just gonna have to mash through this. And then once Shadow uses his, we'll use Bliss on Shadow and give Assassinate 2 uses. Because I am certain I've used Bliss more times than I've used Assassinate. So let's use Assassinate. Kind of figured, okay. And now let's use Bliss. Still didn't upgrade, okay. We'll use Assassinate again. And Gray Focus, because that restores, I think, about 20% of your overdrive. So you use Focus 5 times and you should get your overdrive back. And there we go, okay. Shadow just powered through to get his overdrive. We'll use Bliss on Shadow again. Please, please. Really? Oh my gosh. Assassinate. I feel like something's wrong here. Like, there's no way. There's no way I've used... I'm pretty sure you only need to use it 20 times. I am certain I've used Bliss more times than that. Like, did I break something? Is there a glitch? Do I need to go look at the game's files and see if I did something wrong? Level 20 is the point where it can upgrade if you've used it enough times. There it is. Serenity. Okay. Finally. And we'll use Assassinate. And there's Silence. Awesome. Okay, we got our upgraded overdrives. So, real quick, I'll actually show you what those do. They are much, much more powerful. As it stands right now, Lethality has been far more useful than Assassinate, because Assassinate basically just does increased damage with a chance at an instant kill, which so does Lethality, but Lethality also has a crit chance and a chance to bleed. So there's really no reason to use Assassinate over Lethality, but now there is reason to use Silence over Assassinate or Lethality. And Serenity hits everybody. So we can now just use this, and everybody gets all their overdrives. So that is going to be very, very useful coming up here. But Silence is 2 lethal strikes that never miss and can instantly kill enemies. So where Lethality is a single strike that can bleed enemies and do an instant kill, Silence is a double strike, and each one has a chance of instant kill, and they will never miss. And they do increased damage as well. So even if it doesn't succeed, it'll still do about as much damage as Incision, which is 2 hits, although in fairness, Incision does have a critical hit chance. So just like that, we now have everybody's upgraded overdrives with the exception of Mia and Sebastian, and I may grind those up at a later date, but for now, we're going to call it here. We've obtained 2 legendary weapons. We went through all those cutscenes. I think this is a good place to call the episode. Next time on Bloodstained Hands, we will obtain the remaining legendary weapons. We'll get the Fiend Katana for Shadow, and we will get the Celestial Spear for Matthew. And while we do that, we're actually going to switch up our party a little bit here so that we can give Mia and Sebastian a little bit of love and see how they do. We'll probably go with... actually, you know what, let's just do this right now. Yeah, we're going to switch things up here. Matthew is the lowest level of everybody in the party, so we're going to go with Mia, Matthew, Sebastian. We're going to do 2 heavy hitters and 1 mage. Now, this is going to be a little tricky because we don't have Gray. We don't have a dedicated healer. So we're going to want to stock up on some medicines. So we will do that next mission, or next time on Bloodstained Hands. And we may actually just do that by taking missions from this guy here, because he not only pays us in gold, but also consumable potions. But yeah, we're going to use Mia. We're going to use... Oh, here we go. Yeah, we'll go Sebastian with all his decked out gear. And Matthew, get him some level ups as well. And next time on Bloodstained Hands, we are going to get the remaining legendary weapons. So, until then, take care, and I'll see you next time.